Hello everybody, welcome back to an edition of the EcoStruxure Machine Expert HVAC. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this video we're going to see the DNS functions that we have in the EcoStruxure Machine Expert HVAC. So let's go to the presentation. So this module is related to sending emails from the M172 controller. Okay, so before trying the SMTP function that allows us to send emails, we need to check first the DNS function. So if we go to here, so the first thing is, what is DNS? Well, DNS stands for Domain Name System. That basically converts the host string domain name that you have into IP address. Okay, and that IP address then will be used later to use some of the function blocks that we need on the controller. Okay, so we got these two function blocks: sysdns underscore reset and sysdns get IP by name. Okay, so basically the first one is the one that we need to execute. Okay, provide the name of the domain of the server that we're going to use. In my case, it's going to be SMTP to go. Then you just need to have the IP address that where the information is going to be stored. Okay, we just need to use ADR, and then on the output we just get the status of the function. Then below we have sysdns underscore reset, and basically we just need to execute it when we want to get another IP address or we need to use the same one. Okay, so how we can use this? So for the first one, okay, this enable is optional, but I recommend to have it so you can execute when you want this to be executed. So basically, when you drop the function blocks onto the code, you should be able to see this without the enable and enabled output. Then right click, enable input and output. On the name part, we just need to use a string. Okay, so configure a string with the domain that you want to use, or just a constant string variable. Then on the IP, it can be a little bit more tricky if you are not familiar with the software. So basically, we just need to create a variable. Okay. Then here on this variable, what we can do is to create an array. And then here, we just need to use in this way. So we use the array location. Then here, we just need to use the ADR. So as soon as you trigger this, based on the name that you have here, the software, the function block, will send the IP address to this register. That's why you use this kind of pointer. Then in the output, you have the status for this. Okay, so based on the status, you get something. Now, the other one, for the sysdns reset, okay, so as soon as you execute this and you want to make another one, you just need to execute this one at the bottom. So here, this dummy, you can just use, in my case, I just use a boolean just to send the command. I change this to unsigned int, so unsigned single int, so I don't get any kind of warning on the software, and then it just execute and give me the thing. So if it's false, it means that nothing happened. If it's true, it means that everything went well. So yeah, that's it. So in order to get this in an easy way, I come up with this function block on the library. Maybe you cannot see it. The library LTI underscore add-on. So basically here we have this function block and you have the enable. You need to use the provider, the string, then you just use the read, so it converts the string domain into IP address. Then you get the reset that will execute this, but every time you make a read, it will execute the reset and then this inside. Then you get two different options. You get the array for the IP address, or you just get a string with the IP address. And then you get the server state of this. Okay, So now that we give this kind of introduction, we just need to go to the software and try this out. So we got to test these two, and optional the function block that I created. So if we go to the software, okay, this is what I have done, and we're gonna cover that later. So let's create function block in FBD. So testing time. So if you go here in target blocks, here you can get sys DNS and get by sys DNS reset and sys DNS get IP by name. So I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to create another one here, and there we go. So in the first one, right click, enable input, enable output, just to specify when you want this to be triggered. I'm going to create a new enable. Here the name is going to be a string. I have already created a string for us to use. Over here in the EEPROM, it's going to be this one, the provider. And in my case, I'm using the SMTP2Go as a SMTP server. So that's the one I will be using for the send email. And here on the IP address, we just need to use the ADR. Miscellaneous ADR. Space. There we go. And here we just need to use a string or array, okay, that will allow us to store the address. So here, array IP. Array, yes, 3, 0. Okay, so I'm going to use this one over here. So based on the information log here, it will store it here. And here on the status, DNS state. And if I know wrong, I created another function for that here. Email, you cannot see it. FC, yeah. It will give me the string variable. So let's just create a string. State DNS string. And here we just need to use a reset. Reset, but this one requires a US int, so I'm going to use a converter. Operator, smooth me down, conversion to US int. And let's just copy the logic. I don't want to try it again. It's this part over here. Testing. Yeah, I'm a little bit lazy. So if this one is true, we will reset this one. So put it back here. There we go. So let's try if this works. So I'm going to connect to the M172 that I have here. Download. Yeah. There's a few. So the important thing here is to find the SMTP server for you to send the emails. In my case, I've been testing this for 8 years, so I'm going to stick with this one. I'm going to try another one. So here you can see that I have the IP address. The array without anything. So here I'm going to execute this. Search down. Is searching for this too many times. I should put that trigger over here. but here you can see that it changed, done, searching, done, searching, done. So here you get the IP address for the provider, and then you should be resetting this. It's already reset. As soon as you make one, then you need to reset it. In this case, it's just triggered constantly. Probably a trigger will be good for this. I didn't implement this over here because I was focusing on this one, and now I'm going to show you. So this is how you get it. It's fine. There is no issue at all. It's quite easy. Okay, just to get the IP address. If the IP address is known or fixed, then there is no need to use this. But it's good to know that we have this. You get the idea. So now what we're going to do is to show you the other one, the one I have created. So if we go here, FB DNS, instance DNS testing, you get this with the lovely icon. Now enable, let's put this over here. Enable, we can put this over here. We can put the state, we can put the reset, we can use the xread cmd command, and the provider is this one, and then the IP address is IP address string. So instead of having 4 variables, you just have 1 string. That's it. So let's connect and see if it works. It should work. Type is match, because this one is a byte. It's using byte. The output of this one is byte. The array of bytes on this case. Okay. So let's go here. This one. Array. So I'm going to enable the block. Read. And that's done. And you get the IP address. Easy and straightforward. Just in one block. So let's check if there's something missing. So we already covered this part. Get IP address by name. Get the resets done, and also the FB DNS from my library, which is fine. So this is how you can use the DNS function. So basically, this DNS function will give us an IP address that then we need to use on the function block for the SMTP, that is the one that sends emails. So it's important. If you don't know the IP address, okay, of the server, then you just need to use the domain name to get the IP address. Okay, and if there's something wrong, then the block will tell you something's wrong. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.